Hey everybody, Mighty right here. Today I wanted to bring you a little bit different video than what I'd normally bring. Normally I'd be bringing you some Hearthstone highlights for my Twitch stream, but today I wanted to do a video talking about my TwitchCon experiences from TwitchCon 2018 for a couple reasons. One, I had a pretty awesome time and I wanted to brag about that and show off the pictures. But two, I know a lot of you guys have maybe talked about, well, maybe I'll go to TwitchCon. Is it worth it? What is it even about? And hopefully I can answer that for you right away. So first of all, for me, Twitch, I think I shelled out about $1,200 total when it was all said and done with Airbnbs, flight. I did rent a car, which not everybody did, but I was going to be there for a week, so it made sense for me to do that. But still, even just for those 4 days from Thursday to Monday morning that I was there, about $1,200. And I don't think that's even on the high end of what you could have spent. Again, staying at Airbnbs, I probably spent a little bit less on hotel, but maybe spend a little bit more with driving and the such. But so you might be asking, well, is it worth it for me to go? So for me, the value that I found in it was just the amazing experience of meeting the favorite streamers of mine, making friends with people that I've watched on Twitch for the last year and a half, people I've chatted with that aren't streamers as well. I mean, that's where all the value was for me. Friday was such an amazing day, meeting all those people for the first time. So that was the value for me for TwitchCon. Now, I did do a little bit of networking. I did meet some of the celebs that I've been wanting to meet, and there was a nice swag bag. But for me, I think the biggest value you're going to find out of TwitchCon is to meet those friends that you've talked to on Twitch, if you value that a lot, which I do. And I think that's where a lot of the value is. Now, having said that, I mean, I think you could go there. You could potentially, if you were a very social person amongst the large population of introverts that are on Twitch, if you are sociable and very good at networking, I could see opportunities with that as well. For me, that wouldn't that have been fun if I would have went there and not had friends to go meet and talk to, and just saw exhibits for 3 days and tried to strike up conversation with people. I think that would have been pretty draining for me. But again, I'm a little bit of an introvert with a lot of experience with networking. So I've been down the networking path before, and it's a little draining for me, especially 3 days worth of it. So your mileage may vary, but for the most part, I think if you want to go to TwitchCon, maybe next year, TwitchCon 2019, or any future ones, I would encourage you. I think you're going to have the best experience, get the most value out of it if you make a lot of friends that are potentially going to go, visit, meet a lot of new streamers, find people that resonate with you, that you really like, and be able to meet up with them. I think that's where you're going to really enjoy your experience. At least that's where I was, and I think that's what most other people take out of TwitchCon is meeting their friends and seeing them. So that's where I would go if you're thinking about going to TwitchCon, is make a lot of friends and get ready to just meet a ton of them and have a good time with them next year. But I want to know in the comments below, though, what do you guys think as far as why you went to TwitchCon, or what was your best experience, or why did you not want to go? I'd like to know about that. And now I'm going to go into my actual experiences of TwitchCon and kind of share my favorite stories. So first of all, you can see this goofy mug on the screen is me arriving in San Francisco after an hour and a half delay on my flight, but it was still a direct flight, which was nice. My plan was to rent a car in San Francisco and then drive down to San Jose just to have a rental car, and it was a lot cheaper to get right into San Francisco, which was pretty nice. Let's see. So I met up with my friend Corrupted, a fellow Hearthstone streamer of a long time. I just happened to message him a few days before, and he mentioned he was arriving in San Francisco pretty close to the same time, so it worked out perfectly to meet up with him. He actually had to wait through my extra hour and a half delay too, but I rented a car, and I told him I'll give him a ride down to San Jose so he can save a little bit of money on the Uber, and it's more fun to chat with somebody in the car anyways on the ride down. So that worked out pretty great. Here's the sweet ride that I did rent. I decided to upgrade a couple extra bucks a day. Not counting the gas money that I spent. I think I figured out in 1 week of driving. Granted, I did quite a bit of driving. I pretty much used up a tank of gas in this beast over a week, and I spent about $90 to $95 in gas because it was $4 a gallon to fill up in California. California's not cheap. This just in. But that was a lot of fun though, having that car. And Corrupted actually suggested you have to go to In-N-Out Burger if you haven't been. That's the first thing you got to do in California. That's like the first thing he does whenever he goes to California. So I'm like, sure. I don't eat a lot of fast food very often, but it was really good. As you can see, we got the works. We got the animal style, I believe it is what it is, with the sauce, and I think that's cheese. And basically the fries were pretty good, but like at like maybe like 1 minute room temperature, that cheese, the sauce or whatever just starts like congealing, and then like you got one fry is like 20 fries. But it was good. It was good. It definitely was enough to eat for the rest of the day. But it was good. It was a good experience. Let's see. So we headed to the photo op area. I should say we went to the arena, McHenry Center or Convention Center, to get our badge first. Corrupted had been to TwitchCon the last 2 years, so he was a veteran. He knew what to do. Knew that you should probably get your badge ahead of time, and that'll prove pretty valuable here as I go through the story. But here's the photo op area where you could take those photo ops, which was pretty much busy throughout the whole weekend. Here's a swag bag I got. Pretty sweet. Upper left we got a starter deck of MTG or Magic the Gathering cards, which is pretty sweet because I haven't purchased one of those in like 20 years, and I've been getting into MTG Arena a little bit too, so that was pretty sweet. Got some free bits, got some in-game bonuses like a spray for Fortnite, which I gave away to my viewers since they don't play Fortnite anymore. We got MTG Arena on the bottom left, and MTG Arena deck actually to play in-game, which is pretty sweet. I think it was a green and white deck, which is pretty cool. Then a shaker on the right and some other little trinkets from TwitchCon, which is pretty sweet. So the lines were pretty disappointing at TwitchCon on that Friday to get in. You can see the line on the left was actually the people that didn't even have their badge, and supposedly it took them about 4 hours to get in. I had a couple friends that had to endure that, unfortunately, and me as a process improvement person, that just drives me nuts. That's my job, is to make sure things go efficiently and smooth, and that was not efficient nor smooth. And then on the line on the right was the one I was in, which I spent probably about 2 hours in line. This was a line I stood in for about 45 minutes to an hour before I found the actual line that I could have stood in that might have been a little bit shorter, or that they just opened up for affiliates, which I still waited 45 minutes to an hour at. But so that was probably the one bummer of TwitchCon was the lines. But for me, at least, it was only 2 hours in line because I hadn't got my badge the day before. For some of my friends, it was 4 hours and plus, which is a pretty big bummer to not be able to see them on Friday or not be able to see them very much. But now the fun part of TwitchCon was meeting my favorite people. Of course, you guys start off here with Slissa. Slissa's a Hearthstone streamer that has grown a ton over the last year, or especially the last 6 months, and really a lot of work on her game, her Hearthstone game. It's top 100 NA player. This is a stream I spend most of my time with while I'm working at work. So despite the amazing lines, I mean, getting to see my favorite people, which I'm going to continue to show you through the next couple pictures, is really what made it for me for TwitchCon. But this is like where the point where I'm like, Friday was just such an amazing day overall. It was like I felt like I was meeting my people. I have IRL friends, but very few understand or get into Twitch or Hearthstone. So it was just so cool to meet people that love the same things that I do, and the people that I built rapport over the last year, and people that understand like the hard work that goes into streaming, or people that just support streamers with bits and subs and chatting and all that stuff. So it was just really cool to finally be able to meet those people. That was far and away the highlight for me was Friday. So with all these pictures, or a lot of these pictures, we took a normal picture and then a funny picture. Slissa's not going to shy away from taking a goofy picture if you spend any time in Slissa's channel. So, and she's been a big inspiration to me, which is just with all the hard work that she's done over the last year. So it's just so cool to finally meet her. And then there's Patra. Patra is so sweet. I've been a sub to Patra's community for a little while, but haven't got a chance to know her because she's got a lot of people in her stream. She's a very competitive player. But it was just so cool to actually meet her in person. She was super easygoing. I knew I was going to probably meet her at some point, but I didn't have any idea I was going to be able to spend this much time hanging out with her. And that was just such a wonderful surprise. Just so sweet, so inclusive, cool, very approachable. And we really pretty much hung out almost the entire Friday, which was super awesome. And then the fun picture, I guess. Then Ali Straza, of course. I mean, such a big fixture in the Hearthstone community. Similar to Patrick, just super sweet, easy to get along with and talk to. We talked for a while on Saturday too, which was a lot of fun. You can tell she really enjoys being at these events and meeting her friends and her fans. So that was just really cool to be able to talk with her about Hearthstone and just, things in general. So I spent a good portion of my Friday, as I mentioned, hanging out with Slissa, Patrick, and Allie, and the fans and supporters of their streams on Friday, which was just amazing. Then, we took some more photo ops. Here's my buddy Azrael as it gets, relatively new Hearthstone streamer, I think less than 6 months, but he has a fantastic voice. He does a great job talking through his game, and I think he's going to be an upcoming streamer. It was just so awesome meeting him. He's been so generous in my community, and every time I saw him and Rude Clouds, who I'm going to show you pretty soon, I just had to have a bro hug, total Kappa Pride moment all the time. So it was a lot of fun. Here I was with BBXH. She's a relatively new to the Hearthstone scene as well. She was a part of the Clash Royale community for a pretty big fixture in that before, and I found out her stream a couple months ago. And she's always super sweet and great attitude, positive vibes in there. So it was just so cool to meet her in person. I just happened to see her. I'm like, she's like, Mighty. I'm like, BB. So it was just so super cool to be able to chat with her for about 15 minutes. And just get to know her a little bit more in person. This is a pretty couple of fitting pictures here. This is GJC327, a fellow mod and friend within Slissa's community. He was one of the ones that had to wait 4+ hours in the Twitch line on Friday. Unfortunately, he was only there for Friday. So hopefully there's no more line issues in future TwitchCons. I would hope that they would be able to sort that out. I know they were very apologetic, and they will probably make sure that they don't have to deal with that in the future. So if that is a future factor in going or not going to TwitchCon, I would say don't worry about it, because hopefully I have faith in Twitch that they will not go through that experience again, but certainly you never know. So, but it felt awful for him having to wait 4+ hours, but he was still in good spirits. He's such a sweet dude. It was just also great to meet a guy from the Midwest as well, that I've chatted with a ton in my stream and in Slissa's stream. Really wish he could have spent more time there throughout the weekend, but I know he's busy on Saturday. So, and then of course, Slissa, as we like to call Mom, photobombed us, which is pretty great. So after TwitchCon, a couple of us, Trans Chaos, so I'm going to show you in the next picture, Patra and GJC, we went to the TwitchCon post party in my sweet ride, and I will show you here, awkward transition here, but we'll show you this awesome picture that we decided to shoot before we got there. We had this wonderful, charismatic young lady in Patra. We had this sweet car, and what I rented. We have a sunset. Let's make things work. So we decided to shoot this picture for her Instagram, and it's been blowing up. So definitely shoot Patra Cadness, PATHRACADNESS. Shoot her a follow, shoot her a like on this photo, because it's pretty awesome. So anyways, awkward transition back here. So we shot that picture, and then we went to the after party, which is pretty cool. They rented out of Avaya Stadium, which is a MLS soccer stadium in San Jose. Pretty cool. I mean, obviously great weather in California, so the weather is great. You can see a big crowd of people hanging out in the field. They had $14 beers. I mean, who could pass up that? And bouncy houses and some food trucks, which is pretty cool scene. Let's see. Here's Trans Chaos, mod of Patras, and a new friend of mine. Great guy. Like I said, he hung out with most of us all day, so it was really good to get to know him. Let's see. So next, at that after party, I got to meet Deathsea, who I just met, kind of a couple months ago, watching him play MTG, but I'd always heard his name before. And he's just as funny and charismatic in person, so it's so cool to be able to meet him in person. The TwitchCon party, we only stayed probably till, I don't know, maybe 9, maybe a couple hours, and at least for me, I was getting pretty tuckered out. But we did decide to grab a bite to eat at the Smoking Pig next door. I don't remember completely what this was, but it was delicious. It was mac and cheese on the left, and then I think it was a pork sausage sandwich with bacon, obviously, bacon was phenomenal. So it was really good for a late night meal. Definitely wrecked my sleeping that night, having basically a food baby for the next 12 hours, but it was good. So next day, Saturday, got to meet more people that I'd watched or talked to in chat before. Here's Rude Clouds, I mentioned earlier. One of the guys that every time I saw him, I just had to hug him because he was such a nice guy and so chill, so easy to get along with. Also a relatively new Hearthstone streamer. And by the way, I'll have links to all of my Hearthstone friends, all the streamers below, have to their Twitch streams below, so you can check all of them out. And I hope you will. So we had to do some funny photo ops there. It was good to meet him, though. Lacey A. Finley, got to finally meet her. She's not a Hearthstone streamer. She's a variety streamer, but somebody I met a while back, I think earlier this year. Just anytime you go into a stream, she's going to make you smile because she's smiling. She's having a good time. She's so happy to see everybody. So it was so good to actually meet her in person on that Saturday. There's Geeksay, another F2K streamer. Super nice dude, exactly the same in person as he is on stream. Just a cool guy, easy to get along with. It was awesome running into him like a couple times on Saturday and Sunday, which is pretty sweet. Easily the coolest Canadian I know. They have a Bethesda booth at TwitchCon, and they were giving away these masks, and I'm a big fan of the Fallout series, so I had to get one of these masks and take a couple photo ops for the future Fallout 76 streams that I'm going to be doing, in addition to my Hearthstone streams. And it was just perfect that there was a tank there too, so we had to take a picture with the mask on right in front of the tank. Just purely thematic with when it comes to Fallout. Got some more pictures. Saturday seemed to be cosplay day, so Celissa again with her amazing cosplay of Lyria Windrunner. Her first cosplay, just fantastically done. She pulled it off perfectly and made me feel even shorter, which isn't too hard, but it just looked phenomenal. And I'll show you some more of my cosplay friends here in a bit. Then it was my first meet and greet. You can kind of see some of the people here at the meet and greet, but this was probably one of the bigger ones, and I almost feared for my life a little bit actually. So I was in line to see Disguised Toast, but right next to us was Pokimane, who's really big. There was Crip. There was Lily Pichu. I think there was a couple other big names that I don't really know super well, but I was a little worried for my life. There was like a half-hour line to wait into the half-hour line to actually get in the real line for the meet and greet. So and people just went nuts. As soon as they opened up Pokimane's line, people were pushing, and it was almost a little bit of a scary scene. The Twitch staff kind of figured it out, say, yeah, we need to do something a little different. So again, another situation where they maybe were a little disorganized on their plan, but then they figured something out afterwards. And also I should mention the lines on Saturday, there was pretty much no lines. They kind of let people just in pretty easily, almost too easily compared to like what they did on the first day, but it was like 20 seconds to get in. And then Sunday was really quick lines as well, although of course with less people there. So there's a picture of Pokimane, who, again, I don't really follow too much, but I know a lot of my friends do. And then here's Disguised Toast. Got a chance to actually chat with him about the future of Hearthstone and some other digital card games, get his thoughts on some of the ones that he's played. Really cool to be able to meet him. He's one of the inspirations for me to stream. Then there is the dog, the myth, the legend, Shiro Kibler, who happened to just be walking around with his human slave, Brian Kibler. For those of you guys know me, huge fan of Kibler. Probably too much of a fan of Kibler. But this is actually the second time of 3 times I ran into him. He was one of the people I was looking forward to most meeting. He's been a huge inspiration to me. Becoming a legend level Hearthstone player from watching his YouTube Hearthstone videos, along with Regis Kilbin, who wasn't here, but I want to give him an honorable mention too, because between those two guys, they were a huge inspiration for me to learn how to play Hearthstone a lot better than what I was playing before when I was just casually playing, as well as become streamers, because they're super down-to-earth guys and great people, and yeah, so they mean a lot to me, and that's why I think Brian was the only person I was really nervous and super awkward around, like all 3 times that I saw him. So I feel a little bad about being awkward about it, but it is what it is. He was still very nice all 3 times I met him. I happened to meet him on Thursday when we did we were doing the ticket pickup, and I just happened to see him and Natalie. I'm like, holy crap, Brian's just out here right in the public, right in the open. So I went up and was like, hey, Mr. Kibler, or hey, Mr. Brian Kibler, huge fan. I'm a sub for a long time, blah, 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 mumble, whatever, awkward exchange. And then he was really nice about it. So really awesome that I got to just run into him in the halls on Saturday, and then I'll show you some more pictures with him on Sunday. But he's just a fantastic ambassador of Hearthstone, Twitch, and anything. Just great person to meet. So I was really excited about meeting him. Now some more of my cosplay friends. So on the left is Dictatrix, and then Zabricus in the middle, featuring some World of Warcraft cosplay. It was actually Dictatrix's first attempt at cosplay, and it was fantastic with the Murloc. Pretty cool. Some more pictures with them, and then we got Garrosh in there. And then the whole crew of people, which you'll see there's a stealthy rogue in the middle there. It's my good friend Alkali Lake. She was the second ever Twitch streamer I got to meet in person earlier this year. She was doing a meet and greet at Wizard World Comic Con earlier this year, and she's one of the sweetest, hardest working, talented people I've ever met in my life by far. So she's such an inspiration to me and a good friend, somebody I actually love to call a friend. She's always so super sweet to me and so welcoming. And this is her first time doing the unveiling of her Valyra cosplay, the Rogue Hero on Hearthstone. It was just fantastic as all of her cosplay is. Got to meet Jaybird, a viewer of my stream, as well as some of the other streams that I watch, like Slissa and Alkali Lake. So it was really cool to meet such an awesome guy, nice beard. Always like meeting fellow nice guys with nice beards. So good qualities to have. Then I got to meet Wicked Beth, another variety streamer on the same team as Lacey A. Finley, who I mentioned earlier. Finally, somebody that made me feel a little bit taller about myself. Not that I'm super short, but I'm certainly not tall, at about 5'7.5" on a good day. I only got a few minutes to talk with her, but she's always full of awesome energy, and it was just great to chat with her briefly. So by this time on Saturday, I was actually, didn't sleep super well the night before because I was just so excited about meeting all my friends and having the food baby from the barbecue, and just being out on my element and in 2 hours earlier time zone, all the factors. So I'm just like, all right, I'm kind of done at probably about 4 or 5 o'clock Pacific time. So about an hour or two early before TwitchCon was over. Decided to get a street dog, which I'd been smelling all weekend because the street dog vendors have been just cooking them up while we were waiting in line, starving to death. But it was really good. And you can't have a hot dog without dessert. So I decided to stop at this fancy Italian restaurant on the way back to my Airbnb and got, I think it was called Budino, which I've had Budino before, which I've known as an ice cream. I think they just called this Budino, and it was basically kind of a fluffier cake version of bread pudding. It was phenomenal, and had an Italian beer that I'd never had before. So that was pretty much the end of day 2. Went back to my Airbnb. Next day, day 3, got to meet the bird, the myth, the legend, Zonehawk. He just started streaming a few months ago, but many of you know him from his huge donations and streams, bit bombs and streams such as Regis Kilbin's stream. Super cool dude. Really glad I ran into him and got to know him more personally, and got to actually see the man behind the mask. He took pictures with the mask, but I know what he really looks like, guys. So, and I'm not gonna tell. I'm gonna hold that secret here. So, but we actually grabbed lunch, grabbed some Cuban sandwiches with a friend of his nearby before we parted ways. A very good Cuban sandwich, by the way. So this is late morning Sunday. Or early afternoon. I'm pretty tuckered, honestly, because again, 2 nights in a row did not get a great night of sleep. So this is me chilling on a sleeping bag, bean bag thing, which is pretty cool. Then I made a friend because I appreciate good Fallout cosplay, and she was wearing a Vault-Tec costume, so I had to get a picture with her. So seemed cool, right? So at this time, I'm like, all right, I'm really just waiting for Sunday for the meet and greet for Brian Kibler. Even though I met him twice, awkwardly met him twice already, still wanted to go through and meet him again, get him to sign my Magic the Gathering Shivan Dragon card, because that's each time I forgot to do something. I forgot to get a picture with him, and then I forgot to get an autograph. Otherwise, I wouldn't need to do the meet and greet. But I was happy to do that. And in line, got to meet his wife, Natalie Kibler, who I absolutely love. She is hilarious and so sweet, even sweeter in person. So we got to chat. She even remembered me from when I pop into her streams and when she's hosted me before. So that was really cool to get to meet her. Super sweet. And then finally I got to meet Brian for the third time. I think he was sick of beating me by the third time, but he was still very nice about it. Again, I was still a little nervous, but a little bit less nervous than meeting him the other 2 times. But still had a good conversation, and it was good to finally see him and Shiro one last time. So that was the end of the TwitchCon portion. I just had a couple of more pictures that I just wanted to show because everybody likes cars and food, so why not? So after TwitchCon on through Sunday, Monday morning, I was making the plan to go to San Francisco, which I did, driving this beast, and I think this is at Half Moon Bay, near the ocean, north, a little bit northwest of San Francisco. So I just decided to take a sweet picture there. That's my favorite thing to do when I go to California is just check out the beaches and just relax. You just don't want to have like a bunch of sightseeing planned, but just go there and check out the sights. I didn't do too much touristy stuff in San Francisco because I was worn out and getting a little bit of the TwitchCon plague and just not a lot of sleep too, and ready to be back home. But I still went across the Golden Gate Bridge and took a picture with it. It was still beautiful weather in California. I mean, your worst day in California is better than most days in most states, even though I love my state. But California is gorgeous, and I do love it there. So let's see. So here's the food portion of the last couple pictures. Took a recommendation to go to Sausalito, which is just north of the Golden Gate Bridge, so north of San Francisco. Small little area that everybody recommends going to. Very, very nice area. We'll just say that this was a not cheap meal, but that's okay because it was really good and great views. So worth every penny though, for sure. Got breakfast another day. I was pretty sick of doing sightseeing, so I was just checking out my town of, I think it was Marin City was what it was called, again north of San Francisco, and checked that out. Just walked around a little bit. Again, didn't want to be in the crowds. The introvert side was like, I need some re-energizing, need to do my own thing. So walked around, tried to avoid driving too much, and just ate bacon. So I don't know really how you can go wrong with that. And then finally, my last picture is another burger. Pretty much how my first pictures start out. Again, I don't eat very much fast food, but I didn't really feel like sitting down to eat by, this would have been towards the end of Wednesday because I flew back home on Thursday morning and got Super Duper Burger, which uses some healthier items, some organic ingredients, healthier cows and stuff like that in their food, and it was really good. My Airbnb host said it was better than In-N-Out, and I mean, I don't want to take a controversial stance, but I think I might have almost liked it a little bit better than In-N-Out. It was a little bit pricier for what that's worth, but I mean, the fries were really good. The burger was pretty solid itself. The shake was good. Not that In-N-Out was bad at any means, but they were both really good. But I think I actually like this a little bit better, just knowing that it was a little bit healthier, and I felt a little bit better, about myself, and just the healthier ingredients. I think I can tell a little bit of difference with that. So anyways, that's all my pictures. I know that was a lot of rambling. Thank you. If you made it to the end of this video, holy crap, you are a fan. You are a good friend. I really appreciate it. And no worries if you didn't, though. Overall, really happy with my TwitchCon trip. The 8 hours hanging out with friends on Friday, as I mentioned multiple times, was the highlight. More friend time and meeting more new people on Saturday was even better. Just those 2 days alone would have been worth the trip, I think. I wouldn't have had as much fun if I just would have went there by myself and not known anybody, for sure. I do like to do my own thing sometimes, but there's not enough exhibits to see, not enough games to try to spend 3 days worth. At least not for me. I mean, my ADD would have been like, okay, I got to move on and do something else. But which was kind of my Sunday. I just walked around doing my own thing, and there wasn't a ton for me to get too motivated about. So, and most people get kind of partied out by Sunday, and so Sundays are a lot more chill days. So, but for those of you who want to go to TwitchCon next year, I encourage you to find as many streamers that you can, that you like, that you resonate with, that you want to meet. that you think you could be, friends or connections with. Make friends with viewers over the course of the next year. Then take the plunge and buy the ticket. 2 days is probably enough at TwitchCon in my opinion, but it just depends on how much fun you have with your friends and what you want to go there for. So hopefully you found this video helpful and hopefully you enjoyed going down memory lane with me. Hopefully this helps you make a decision on going to TwitchCon 2019 or not. But yeah, if you enjoyed any part of this video, please leave a like. Feel free to leave a subscribe too if you found some value in this. Maybe I'll bring some more videos and more experiences like this. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this very long video, and hopefully it resonates with you. So peace and love, guys.